And we're live with one of the best looking hangouts on YouTube. Except me. We're going to be going through the SOLTI-160 test to see how we get on. See if it's a dodgy test or a good test. So, right, gender. Male.
Yeah, maybe you could read the question aloud.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I will do my favourite thing, what I am known for, sharing the screen. Oh, wait a minute, I just got to hide my bookmarks so that people don't see them all.
Secretive.
Right, here we go, and waiting for something to pop up. I'm using Chromium.
Okay.
I should be. Oh dear, the share screens. Right. What I'm gonna have now. I can quickly. There's not. Right. What I can do is I'm gonna go out of this browser and then go into Chrome. But if you talk for like a minute, I'll be back very quickly.
Okay. So we could all. I can't hear Marie. We could all just fill in the.
Yes, I'm ready with everything.
Yeah, I'm ready too. So what did you put as your version of your Soconics type?
I said IEI. I'm pretty confident that that's accurate.
Yeah. I put EII, even though I know that I've been typed as EIE.
Yeah.
But I put EII as well. With 70% confidence. What did you, Rachel? What did you put?
Rachel, what are you saying is your type?
Well, where is she?
I don't know. It's cutting out.
Yeah, it's freezing. Is it my computer freezing?
I think it's hers or Maria. Maria, do you know what type you?
I got my type.
Oh, when you took the test? Okay.
Yeah.
So that will be interesting to compare because I always get EII when I take these tests.
Yeah, it's interesting how you get that. I usually get EII.
Out of my friends, a lot of people got like the opposite or quasi-identical type.
Okay. And we lost Rachel and Ben.
Maybe it's the Aurelia Borealis what is on our sky. So maybe it's affecting some kind of magnetic, something. Okay, Ben is back.
Yes. Wow. Because I found out. There it is. It's popped up now. I found out recently that I have like 5 minutes to get back, or the hangout will end.
Yeah.
Oh, stress.
Okay.
I see polar stress.
Oh God. Right. Let's see. Oh, that's my messages. Right. Okay. Here we go. No education. So how are people reading this? Right. Okay. Degree. Oh no, people are going to see my age. Oh, at least just turned 30. Yes. I think we've all ticked that box in this hangout.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Okay. So what we got? Newbie to Soconics. No. Oh God! People are going to see my suggestion. Which one should I put? You can say which one you think I am. I'm even more skilled than most Soconics forums inhabitants already. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to press that.
You are.
More than 3 years.
You're not a newbie.
Have you known it more than 3 years? Just put it that one or the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's better.
I'll put that one. Right. My own version. Yes. Right.
We lost Rachel, but she might be coming back. I think her computer froze too. Bad karma.
Here we go. LII. Right, here we go.
So it says that we should try to avoid the number 3.
I know, which is a problem, because I did check 3 a lot the first time I took it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to take it. In some cases, I had to I couldn't choose
but
the way. So,
the level of confidence in my type is 100%. Because I am so TE controlled.
Sorry. I'm breaking our house.
Yeah, I said like 85 to 90% for myself.
Yeah,
well,
I
99.9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not so certain. I put 70% and EII, so I'm being defiant now. I'm still EII.
But at the moment, I've clicked it so it like stays on the form. People can like still see the thumbnails at the bottom, but it's like it's on the. Right. So here we go.
Yeah.
Who's this?
So that's
I love the music. I love the music.
Yeah, is that Maria's kid?
Yeah.
It's cute.
It's okay actually, because you know it's far more. It's okay.
It sounds like we're in an amusement park. You know, it's how do you call this? Where they play this music?
Carousel.
Yeah. Okay.
So, are you going to read our questions, Ben?
Okay. Number 1. I'm always attentive to even the smallest logical details. Okay. I'll click 5 on that one.
I have to put. I go
2. 3. I always say 3 for that. Okay.
Like. Okay, I won't give an example because it would take too long.
Yeah.
But I went through a Helen Fisher book and I detected an inconsistency. And I rumbled
I don't.
Number 2?
I think I'm about 1.
Oh, you think so?
Well, there is hardly a protocol that I can follow without misreading. I guess it must be my F or like SE, but I always like misread protocols or recipes. I cannot follow a single recipe without making changes.
Number 3 seems a bit peculiar.
Oh, are we not doing one? Number 2.
Now the sound is echoing.
Yeah.
It may be me.
Yes. I think if Maria. Oh, well, she could just be disciplined with the mic. only switch it on when she talks. What about this one? During the meal, I often concentrate on getting.
No, the number two.
Number 2. Okay. Well, atmosphere, fear, punishment. Well, SE polar, yeah. What's yours for that one, Hannah? Number 2.
Yeah, I don't like. I get defiant. So it's
Yeah,
true.
that's the thing. That's a little irony with SE polar is that we become absolutely stubborn. And I'm tempted to call it SE bipolar.
Yeah. That's good.
Where we turn into like the Incredible Hulk and say, "No, you're not having it. I'm not being pressured."
So
I put 2 for that.
2. Okay.
I really doubt that anybody will actually admit that they are high on that. I cannot imagine a person who would put 5 in there.
Well, I have.
I put 5.
Oh, I'm confused. So wait. It's my echo, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
How do I make that go away?
it's Maria because she's using a mobile device.
Oh, okay.
But we'll make allowances for someone who knows so much about Soconics.
Yes.
This one seems odd to me. 3, like, who doesn't concentrate on the taste when having a meal?
I'm a 3 on that. Like I don't really. My mind usually wanders. I can eat a whole meal and be like, wait a minute. I didn't really pay attention.
Yeah,
I put 5. I love eating. I just love it.
So, Chris, if we talk about circumstances, if you're having your meal with family, then maybe you're concentrating on other people rather than having a discussion.
Yeah.
And concentrating on tasting food.
My family often is remarking about the food. I paid more attention when I eat with people because they respond and talk about how it tastes. When I'm by myself, I have to be more conscious of it to pay attention.
Yeah, that sounds like not very high SI to me.
Well, for our type, like I'm talking about me and Crystal, the sensory usually goes away when you're with somebody and focusing on them. So I'm very interested in focusing on the taste of food, but I can only do it when alone.
Interesting.
Yeah, that makes us a little different. I think.
Yeah, I think people have to concentrate on their role function.
Yeah. You have to be consciously paying attention, and the fact that I have a lot of sensors in my family who really enjoy their food, and they're always like they'll talk about it, and so then I will like it will help me be conscious of it.
I don't need anyone to help me be conscious of food. I love food and cooking, and I have like some like impossible dreams of having, you know, whatever down to a bed and breakfast. But I really want to share my breakfast with somebody who would think it's like to die for.
That's great. Yeah, that's not me though. I don't enjoy cooking. It is a chore.
Yeah, I don't enjoy cooking either, but I love eating. So that's the thing. Okay.
I'll pick 5 on this one, number 4, but I'm actually picking it for a TI reason.
So
how's that?
Because I'm picking it because from a libertarian reason of like natural rights. It's like for intrinsic in the concept of a person are certain rights.
No, I'm thinking if I'm totally honest, there are some people that I don't whose self-worth I don't respect and acknowledge, like pedophiles or some really. Yeah, I admit it. Yeah. So I put 4. I don't know
how honest I should be because when it's recorded, so. But now you've admitted it, Hannah. I'll go down a couple of notches.
That's good. Yeah, I put 4. Yeah, 4 is more honest.
The thing is, in general, I absolutely do agree with that.
Yeah. Well, me too. But I know that if I'm honest, then I have some issues that I.
If that question was rephrased to, I acknowledge and respect the self-worth of even the people I really hate, then
right, then we could all answer 5.
Yeah. Yeah, and also maybe religion can like play a part in that, because if someone's part of the church where they're always talking about the worth of every person, and that could affect things. Although there are lots of things that people ignore in their who go to church and ignore their teachings.
Yeah, that was an easy question for me. I had 5 without much thinking. Just
Me too. Me too.
Respect.
Okay, so the next one.
Number 5.
Okay, I'll put 4 on that.
Can the people see what?
Oh yeah, it's on. It's stayed fixed on my share screen because it does that because I clicked on my square.
I'm going to read this one out loud. I don't know why this is hard for me. I have a fun, easy, and not intrusive nature. I know how to get a joy out of life and share it with others. That's just very... I feel like part of it's true.
Yeah, it's a lot of different things, you know, which may or may not be connected.
Yeah.
I feel like I know how to get joy out of life. I want to share it with others. I try not to be intrusive, but I don't consider myself fun or easy. I think sometimes I'm uptight and I need people to bring me out of my shell. So I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, here I have to think, what would other people say, like, around me? And I don't think they would say I have a fun and easy. I can be very playful, but then I also have this other side. So I can put, I feel I would like to put 3 here.
Yeah.
Sometimes it even looks like contradiction because fun and easy people are often intrusive.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can think of an ESFJ, like chivying people along. Come on, let's enjoy ourselves, people.
Yeah. I think I put 2. I put 2. I'm not that fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I often feel guilty.
I often feel guilty. Yeah, I do. 5.
That's a 4 for me.
Yeah.
Maria, do you often feel guilty? Oh, she's probably with her kids.
This next one is crazy.
Let the will to power grow and triumph. Let all the weak and ugly die. That is horrible.
Bloody hell, that's an ESTP question.
That's
What's the ESTP?
I did 1 on that. Ooh.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, as in you didn't do 1?
That is crazy.
No.
That's a crazy question.
It is.
It is.
Even Donald Trump and EJR&D and Jack are not going to pick that. Oh dear, I shouldn't have named names.
Did you see EJR just said that he thinks Donald Trump is ISTJ?
Oh, what a load of nonsense.
Yeah.
ESTP.
ESTP.
I know a lot of people who are like social Darwinists, especially like INTJ ones, but this would look too pathetic to them. No, not pathetic. Too like passionate.
Yeah.
So I cannot imagine a person who would score 5 because for people who have enough like theoretic grounds for it, it's just the wrong style.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah. Also, I don't like how those two statements run together. There's loads of people that believe in willpower, but are also compassionate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it just should be rephrased in more like moderate language.
I mean, these questions have to be so carefully phrased.
Yeah, more down to earth way.
It sounds like a humorous exaggeration.
Yeah. Well, I know an ENFJ who would score high, just out of humor again.
Right, it does. It does. Sounds funny. Number 8?
I think lots of people would
Sorry.
click highly on number 8.
Gentle, peace-loving. Same time I could be capricious.
What is capricious? I have to ask.
Oh, it's where they it's someone like changes their mood a lot and is like a little bit unstable, moody, emotional. It was said that Khrushchev was capricious.
I'm capricious then. I put 4.
Same.
Yeah, I guess my capriciousness is reserved to the close circle. Like people who can afford it.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
So basically, what we're saying is we're not as nice as we appear.
Right. We all have a mask we put on for the public. Oh, it's telling me I have to leave in 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's.
Number 9. It often happens that I begin to imagine some scary events even during the sunny day.
5. I put 5. I'm Enneagram 6, so
Yes.
that's my excuse.
So,
I actually wish I would better about imagining bad events, because I usually just my mind doesn't really work that way, so I have to force it in that direction.
Really? I wish I.
It helps to have like INTJ relatives who like scare the hell out of you by describing like what can happen to like a child if he tries to cross the street in the wrong place, and it would go like this: we would have to like pay money to the person who would kill your child, you know, to fix his car. So anyway, but my head doesn't work that way. I usually imagine the best outcome, and that's sort of a downside, because there's.
I'd be thinking of paying money to a hitman. To deal with the person that knocked down the child.
I have a hard time answering this one. I'm putting a 3 because it happens, but it doesn't happen often. But it happens enough. Like I can get easily stressed, but it isn't. Sometimes I'm the one calming other people too.
Yeah, I can be that.
One of the things here, it says during a sunny day. Well, there's not that many sunny days in England, so.
But yeah, that's true.
Hannah might have similar sentiments about sunny days.
Yeah, in the winter we don't have any sun at some point, or so. Even during the sunny day. Okay.
And INTP is particularly energized by a nice, pleasant day because they can go outside and read.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one.
Okay, number 10.
Sometimes I'm haunted by the obsessive pictures of my imagination.
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
I have to say that I never scored big on the imagination or anyway introverted intuition questions, because I have very little of that. I'm that freaky one who is low on the base function.
But I've got to say that Maria is one of the funniest people I know. She has a very subtle sense of humour.
Yeah, I'm grateful that it says sometimes, because I don't feel like I'm constantly haunted by my imagination, but sometimes I really can get carried away.
I do a lot.
I have to make conscious use of my imagination. Like when I'm overcome with feelings, I use my imagination to imagine the outcome. Like like they do in like children's cartoons. To when a child is upset with something, they show him how things will develop if he had it his way.
Mm.
So imagination is very useful because you run into you run into the outcome of your preferences, and that teaches you something. But imagination doesn't really get me as much.
Yeah, the first time I took this test, my imagination, or excuse me, my introverted intuition score wasn't very high either. But I think this was the one question that I can answer fairly high. But I think it's because, like, the Enneagram 6 with that idea of, you know, negative possibilities, that makes me answer high.
Yeah, I have it too. It's not very positive in my case.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
11 is easy. I like the atmosphere of struggle and fight.
Oh no.
That is a 1.
Yeah. I like number 12 better than arguing with someone. I like explaining, but I don't like arguing.
Oh, you know how to patiently explain, justify, and substantiate.
I can say, but it feels natural.
Sorry, we couldn't understand you. Can you say that again?
It's a competition atmosphere.
Oh. I don't.
With graphs on, like with bells on, but with graphs as well. The 12.
I like to justify, so I put 4.
And I put a 3 because I know how to patiently explain, but like substantiate, I feel like my logic isn't strong enough. I don't have confidence in that.
But I would say though, Crystal, that when you to me, you explain the Enneagram very well. So, for instance, in the hangout, in the third hangout we did with David Kersey, I think you gave a very good case for Enneagram, and he didn't object to it.
Well, I feel like I can explain why I think a certain way or what my ideas mean to me, but when it says substantiate, to me that means like it's more objective, and I feel like my logic is always very subjective. So I could change my score on that, but that's why I answered the way I did.
Right.
You could put 4. I would, if I were you, I would put 4. Crystal, yeah.
Right, so 13.
I often do experiments when it comes to coziness and comfort, aim to eliminate annoying elements.
Oh yes, 5. Yes.
And I only do when I'm feeling uncomfortable. Like I have to experience discomfort and then I will adjust. Sometimes I'm too cold, sometimes I'm too hot, sometimes the light is too bright or it's too dark. Like I will notice things and that's when I make adjustments, but I don't like have a laid out plan of let's try to make this more cozy.
I'm very low on this question because I don't come from the annoying perspective. I know other people who would actually look for what annoys them, and I have more fuzzy perspective. So I'm not very good about eliminating, which kind of is because it's a question for negative SI.
Interesting.
I'm a bit unclear on this. What do you think would be like examples of experiments when it comes to coziness and comfort? Well,
I can explain. Well, ever since I was a child, I had this. I tried to create the coziest and most comfortable ever situation. So for me, it was I was reading a book under a blanket with some drinks and some sweets or something good, and then I was sort of in a perfect. So everything was perfect. So I created these little nooks, Or I also, and I even do it in my imagination. I have Pinterest boards, in Pinterest, where I create these what I like or what are these cozy things. So I create these visual scenarios like what is the most comfortable or what is the coziest place on earth. So I do that.
I do have that kind of a Pinterest board myself, actually.
Yeah.
I love it. It's,
What?
but I don't want to do the work
to
make it happen.
The word that distracted me was experiments.
Yeah, but I would think that if you visualize those things, or if you think about what is the most comfortable place on earth, or you can try. Well, if it's cold, you try. Okay, I put my woolen socks on, and then oh no, it doesn't work, and then I do something else, or I don't know. I see it as not anything grand, but just something like small things in life.
People would have noticed that in Hangouts I frequently leave to like get some food and drink.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you seem to be doing the song, so you
Yeah.
or doing.
Yeah.
If I didn't hang out as you do, I would right when doing this. Well, anyway.
Your sound cut out then, Maria.
Yeah, my connection is so bad that I don't think it makes sense to stay.
No. There's no need to get passive aggressive. Please stay.
Okay, so I think Crystal had to leave, so we have to continue to SIDs. I'm pretty comfortable here. So.
Oh, very good. Yes, I don't want to be uncomfortable. It was the bit where it said often do experiments. I suppose, yeah, try and error things. Often, yeah, all right, I'll pick 5 on that.
So 14.
Yeah, it sounds like an FI question.
Yeah, in Soconics maybe, but then in MBTI it would be either FE or FI. I don't feel like I read people's minds really, actually, but I do feel that I know people quite well. I put 4.
Yeah, I think that's an FE question. Now, this is something I've improved a lot at, but through a technical means of because the acting was so good in the remake of Battlestar Galactica. The emphasis was so much on the acting. So, for instance, they would let the cast like change the lines, and like they wouldn't like hold them up in case if they they said something different. It was the emphasis. The acting was so good that I sort of like got a sort of baseline for acting and judging people through the eyes. And I once did a test on which was just the emotions in the eyes. And I got something like 20 out of 22.
Oh, I didn't. I did more poorly in that test than I thought. Funny thing was, I took this test that was about male or female brain, and these emotion reading questions were on female brain part, but I have a male brain. So it's interesting.
The sort of result was like a very high score. Are you sure you're not a woman? Something like that.
Yeah. But I was a bit disappointed because I'm not so good at reading emotions that I thought that I would be. So, but I put 4 because I ask a lot of questions, so I'm quite inquisitive. And my friends say that they have difficult time hiding things from me because I ask the right questions and I can be quite.
Is thinking stylist.
I put 4.
Dynamic negativist. Those usually like I have an SEI, a friend who would sometimes tell me, well, saying this to you, but then you would say it back to me because she kind of puts things in my mouth, and my INTJ husband does the same.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't hear a lot. But
oh, actually, ENFJ would do the same.
Okay.
My ENFJ son assumes a lot about people and their responses.
Yeah.
So, do people here think I've chosen the right one for number 15, where I chose number 5?
But this is something that is also partly cultural. Like I've said that Finnish people just don't make compliments in a similar way than for instance Americans. So this is so as for a Finnish person, I would say I make maybe 3, but for an American person I would be 1. Because I've said before, I don't like to. I feel very uncomfortable making any comments on people's physical attributes or anything like that. So I'm very careful. So I usually just don't say anything, which is not good either. I put 2.
Yeah, I like 3.
Okay, in relationships I lack some sensitivity and delicacy. I wonder what that means. Delicacy, like.
Oh, delicate is I mean, it's like
tactful. No.
Yeah, like say a vase could be delicate, something that's easily broken. So if someone is delicate, they're very careful and gentle. And so you could say someone could word something delicately, where it's like the opposite of harsh.
Yeah, well, now
Did they actually say it this way?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just in relationships I lack some sensitivity. I have to say, if I'm totally honest again, and I will be, that the closer the person is to me, the less sensitive and less delicate I am. So. So
I could ask you lot, have I been sugary and luscious?
No. This sugar and luscious, does it mean it's something negative?
It would be the sort of thing that an INTJ would say about FE users. You know, where they're actually criticizing their FE.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I get that strange feeling like a friend of mine brought his fiancée once, and I was like, what is she doing with this guy? He's like cough syrup.
I can be like that with children, it's true, but not with adults.
I think before we started, Maria told us a good joke. I can't remember what it was about.
I don't. Okay, I put 2. So, comparing to others, I have exceptional talent for patience, responsiveness, education, and dedication. 2. Or 1? I put 2.
Sugar.
Oh, you're in the sugary thing yet? You are not sugary.
Yeah, I mean, I always try to compliment people on whatever
Yeah, but
positive
it's
attribute
different.
they have.
Yeah. But it's different. It's
So,
not.
but I
But
wouldn't
you're not
say
sugary. No,
sugary.
that's no, you're not. No,
Okay.
2 as max.
I would say I didn't score high. I often even forget to say hello or goodbye. And
Yeah.
and, I've seen like older INFJs kind of trying to compensate by being sugary for like some things that they accidentally forget to do. But usually not when they're young. It's more with older ones who kind of mimic ISFJs.
Yeah.
Oh dear, I'm gonna click 1 on that.
Which one?
Number 18.
How come? Why do you put 1?
Oh, I don't.
But you're pretty patient with Soconics.
Yeah, it's the
And dedicated.
I don't know. I mean, no, I think.
I will give you 4.
Yeah, I would give Ben 4.
Yeah, okay. But you see, I wish I could be more. Get at, because see, the socionics is getting in the way of my writing. So I need to be more disciplined in that area. Patience. Yes, I am patient.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go along with.
Actually, many
I can't hear now.
Yeah, I have a simple rule. Whenever Maria speaks, I'll be quiet.
Yeah, I tried to be quiet. I didn't hear.
What I usually like with Maria's mic is as soon as I hear her mic switch on, then I know she wants to talk, and then I suddenly wind up.
Now I think there is some kind of problem. Mic is off.
Right.
So should we just go to 19?
Oh dear. Okay, Hannah. For this 18 one, when it says
18.
responsiveness, but for question 18, do you think I'm responsive? What does that? I mean.
Yeah, I think you are. I seriously would put 4 to you, at least 4.
Okay.
You are, yeah. I unfortunately have to put only 2 because I'm not I'm not patient, and well, I can be responsive, but not always.
But you see, this question might actually be measuring self-confidence.
Nice.
Number 18. Because like at ESTP, even though they're not those things, they might click.
So Donald Trump would choose 5 on that one. Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah. Peter Schiff was talking about he is actually the best politician in the race because he promises everything to everyone.
Yeah.
Like loads of tax cuts and no cuts to the welfare state. So that fits the promoter that lies.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, better than Marit. You should talk.
Oh gosh, that's number 1. I don't know. Results. I'm not about results. I'm about plans.
Better than others, I can maximize results with minimal. No. 2. Sometimes I can, if it's a lot of pressure, then I can, but I don't do it usually, so I put 2.
I think Donald Trump's clicking 5 on that one.
Oh yeah.
90.
Yeah, well, 19, I had one. But 20, it's a tricky question because I cannot really call myself happy and cheerful when I'm by myself or like at home doing stuff, because anything TE related puts me in a grumpy mood. But people who are people who are whiny bug the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I'm whiny, so I have to put 4.
Maria, what would you consider as TE things?
Anything that involves a method has to do with money or appliances.
Right.
Like anything that you can make a wrong choice over, but that's not TE related, but something that doesn't put me out of a happy mood.
Right.
Something that involves responsibility.
Ah, right. So all of those things are associated with Guardian.
The break and suggestive function area is not something that I'm going to be smiley going about. I actually, like, there are very few times when I relax, when I do something completely stupid like doing dishes.
Get a dishwasher.
Well, no, not everything is, you know, if you think everything is done by the dishwasher, you don't cook.
Yes. I was thinking about elaborate cooking. Microwavable meals are not for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll have to put one on there.
Or which one? The next one.
20.
Yeah, I put 4.
It's even with these even when it gives you 5 options, it's still I don't really feel happy selecting one. Whereas when I did that raining dichotomist test, and it sort of said like pick 4 of them, I was like really happy with the ones that I selected.
Well, but I'm prone to depression, so I'm choosing 4 on that.
Do you, in terms of like non-typological factors, do you get that more, Hanna, in the winter because of the short days?
In the winter and in the spring. Spring can be really bad for people here when the light there becomes more sunlight. But also winter, we have seasonal. How do you call that? There's a name for it.
Daylight saving time?
Yeah, but I mean the seasonal effect. What is it?
Seasonally.
Anyway, there's a
SAD. They call it SAD, I think. Seasonally. Was it?
Yeah, I mean there's a specific name for depression that's seasonal. But
yeah,
anyway.
I think it's seasonally adjusted depression, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I think this November is maybe the worst. It's horrible. It's so dark. There's no snow yet, and it's dark. It's horrible.
Oh yes, that is the worst month because you're waiting for Christmas. At least in February, spring's my favourite time.
Yeah. Do you have like favorite perfume or like essential oil to kind of get you more out of the depressive mood? I don't know about you, but I have several friends who had to live in Moscow in winter. I don't really notice the winter as much, but like negativist types like SEI would need a lot of props to live through the winter. And one of them suggested that I use like sweet orange oil against seasonal depression. orange smell is just by itself is so festive that it really lifts you up.
Mm.
Oh.
I have to try that. Yeah.
If you are sensitive to discomforts, maybe you can work with different smells to wear. For me, sometimes it really changes my mood. If I really pay attention, it does.
Hannah, this might be close for you. What do you think of number 22? If you're at that point, I don't know if you're on a different question.
21 first. I have always behaved as a powerful and respectable one. I don't. But some I put 2.
Although you did say something about when we did our previous video on the self-affirmation book, you said something about you can take charge of people.
I can if I want to. But I don't prefer that.
No.
Yeah, well, I sometimes make attempts, but I don't think I do a really good job at that. But 21 is a tricky question for me because I don't see the way I behave. I usually
that is
what people tell me is sometimes I'm bossy without noticing it.
I think for question 20,
I may ask someone in charge.
I think for question 21, for men, that their actual physical size can affect that. In terms of appearing powerful. Like if someone's 6'5" versus 5'5".
Yeah, but just the physical appearance of mine is. I sometimes see myself on the video, and I always look like I'm gonna get slapped like on the back of my head or something. I guess.
Wow.
I have my head is really if I know people are watching me, I tend to sink my head into my shoulders.
Oh, interesting.
I guess because I was raised pretty much by my elder brother when I was little, and he used that method of disciplining very often.
Well, what I noticed with Maria is that she did a hangout that was all Russian, and because she didn't have to do any translator, she was a lot happier in the hangout with Victor.
Well, apparently it was like translating also is T related because it's work.
Yeah.
Anything work may make me anguished.
Yeah. Because pretty much Maria was smiling throughout the whole of that hangout with Victor.
Because it can be done poorly and can be so.
Pretty much. Right, number 22. My appetite's too strong.
Yeah, mine too. And it's in my genes. I know. I mean, in my DNA. I have the obesity genes. So I put 1.
Yeah, but you're not overweight though.
No, I'm not. But I would be if I didn't control my eating.
See, I tried to put that in the least complimentary way possible. I could have put, Hannah, you're in great shape.
That you did well. You're very Finnish, very Finnish. That was good. Yeah, you're like learning fast.
Yeah, on poor appetite, I would score like 0.
Yeah,
everything that is not hammered down.
I have a very good. I've always had a good.
Oh my God! Question 23.
I put 1.
Yeah, that's like ESTPs and ENTPs.
Yeah, this is something I would like to be indifferent.
Yeah, I think I'm also 1. But I think being a left type, I don't remember if it was one or two, because I may feel strongly about an issue with a person who, if it happened to be something I know from my own experience. But a lot of people, a lot of things just don't not in seriously. So that would make me feel.
I think with 23 is I'm quite a suspicious person. So I sort of do judge people.
So sometimes when people complain about something, I think, okay, something like, I wish I had your problems.
Oh yes, like when people complain about having SJ children.
Well, I don't know about SJ children. SJ adults can be very hard to deal with.
Oh yeah, but those ones where they like do really well with their schoolwork, and the parents just criticize about the
not all the SJs are good about anything in particular. Sometimes the lack of an E just, you know, makes it real difficult for them.
So, sorry, lack of what?
Oh well, I was saying that are they complaining about having children who have like those proverbial SJ qualities? They are like too responsible, or to get in your way too much, and so on.
Oh, it's just like
Try to control you.
An INFJ said to me that it's just that they find them a little bossy. And I thought, well, that's. I mean, they're doing really well at school. I mean, I'd just find that funny if a 12-year-old is bossy.
I can't understand you. What did you say?
I was saying that if the only fault of a child was that they were a little bit bossy, but they did really well at school, I would be happy with that.
Well, ISFJ, for instance, can be like explosive fussy, like vampire fussy.
Vampire fussy?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Especially if it's dominant ISFJ. Dominants are like, I mean, if it's a dominant negativist, I mean, the dominant positivists are better, they're pretty good, but dominant negativists can just...
What does vampire fussy mean?
If you're not a very strong person and you cannot just stop them short.
Right. Hanna, do you know what that means? Vampire fussy?
No, but I have some images in my head.
Oh, right.
Like I'm thinking.
My mother-in-law is dominant ISFJ, and everybody in the family knows that she's like a little child, just worse because you're a little child you can reason with.
Right. Okay.
And
Right,
the thing about them is that they try to go into that, like, victim mode that it's for some reason to, like, some people take advantage of. And, specifically being an INFJ.
Now I can't hear.
It's very put in. article, unfortunately, it was in Russian, I believe, but it was about like useless heroism, and I put it on I shared it on Facebook, and two people I got responses from, and very like involved responses, were ESFJs, because that's actually archetypal caregiver.
Yeah.
The SFJ one. So they are like household heroes who have to who expect a lot of payoff for their behavior.
Oh
and if
yes.
You're not,
yes.
Yeah. If you're not conditioned to provide that payoff, or you're just dumb and don't really know how to do it, you cannot really provide this kind of feedback they expect.
Yeah.
Or where's your dignity out?
Yeah.
Again, for victims, it's kind of difficult. Then SJs can be really tiresome.
Yeah. Because Kersey mentioned that all the Guardians want gratitude from their families.
Yeah.
So, Hannah, which question are you on at the moment? Are you on 24?
No, 24. So the phrase is "time is money and time does not wait" could be my motto and characterize me well. Unfortunately, 1.
I think though, as we get older, that time goes quicker and we become more aware of time.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm old, I have my I hear myself say this a lot to a lot of different people, but it's not something that characterizes me inside. But I have to cut a lot of communication short because I see it as being like counterproductive. So I have to remind people about time.
Okay, so 25. Sometimes my presence in the group of people could lead to mutual laziness, and I don't know why.
I'm pretty high on that.
You think so?
I guess because I accept people the way they are. If they feel like being lazy, they would be more lazy than usual.
I think this is very Enneagram 9.
I don't. How would that work? 25. Why does it cause? Is it because they're just too busy chatting with each other to get work done?
No. I think it's.
I guess it's like the thing. The NF work sometimes qualifies laziness.
The only thing I think that could mean is it sets like a bad example, and other people follow the example. So it might be another way of asking, "Are you lazy?"
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I could ask my husband, I could ask him that if I spread laziness around me. He says no. So I've never heard that I would spread laziness, so I would.
I think things like becoming a parent would affect things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I would too.
At this point, I think I have to drop the conversation because my kids are hungry and I need to figure out lunch and stuff.
Thank you. being with us.
Yes.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for your insights and humour. Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me, Ben?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I can. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, dear, this-
I don't think you are very high on that one either.
Oh, so what do you think I should be for 25?
1 or 2. That's my impression.
I think it's trying to ask if someone's lazy or not. I think it's a roundabout way of asking that.
Yeah. I can sometimes. It depends on people, but of course, if there's no pressure, I like to chat and but it's because I think that if you're in a workplace, I think it's enhancing the productiveness if people are having a good time. So I don't think it's laziness. I think it's an important part of the work culture. But
Oh dear.
but I would 2. Don't think too much. I think you are not the one who spreads laziness.
Okay. Little do you know.
Yeah. At least
Right.
you're good at playing that. Yeah.
Now for
Okay.
26, this runs into the control function where, in theory, I'm a good entrepreneur in terms of like ideas and things. But and this was like when the first time I read this in Victor's profile that like has lots of good business ideas, but doesn't have the energy nor the organizational ability to implement them. And even in the Kersey profile, it wrote that the INTP needs an efficient support staff.
Yeah. Yeah. I can do this if I want, but I really don't seek these kind of situations. I get my energies get really taxed after being in this kind of mode. So I wouldn't.
But you do have suggestive TE. So I would say that you're higher than me on that. I would say you're either 2 or higher.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can do that, but it's not like a flow. I know actually my husband says that I'm really good at inspiring people and like persuading them into something. And when I've been working in, for example, in customer service things, I've been really good at sales and stuff like that. So I can do that. But I put 3 on that because it's not my comfort zone.
Now for 27, we both might put 5 on that one.
Yeah, I will put 5. I usually go around them. It's not that I always get totally new ones, but I have lots of going on usually.
Yeah.
Like different, a little bit different. Yeah.
That's like when I see tests where they say multitasking, I actually think, what do they mean? Do they mean like literally doing more than one thing at a time? Like say a mother who can like having a conversation on the phone, keeping an eye on the kids, doing a meal at the same time, or do they mean switching between things?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it means what we are. This one.
Yeah, switching.
Yeah. Okay, so 28. My inherent nature is insurgent. What is insurgent?
Oh my god. Well, the talk about them in Iraq is like somebody will go in somewhere and like create a disaster and like shake everything up. Basically, it's not an ESTP type question. An insurgent would say somebody who will go into an organization and cause havoc and change things. So say if someone went into a hangout and suddenly they changed the mood of it, or they like had an agenda, or
Okay. Yeah, I don't go anywhere to start a fight, but I can be critical, like I've said that in some kind of value debates, but I don't see it, so I will be too on that.
I don't like the meticulous research.
You don't?
No.
Mhm. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I don't like it.
But you do it a lot.
I do it, but I don't like it.
Oh God. Well, it's true. I'm not meticulous, but I
Oh,
like
right.
analytical work.
So what I would do with these questions is I would concentrate on what people do rather than what they like or prefer.
Yeah.
Because then then it's clearer for the person answering it, because they either do it or they don't do it.
Mm. I should do this, but I don't, so maybe I would too.
No.
Yeah.
Well, if I do research something, it's so that I can do graphics and do a hangout about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's like we both, though,
Mm.
don't really finish books.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're not as methodical as we should be.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know people who are, for example, doing their PhD or doing research, and they are really meticulous.
Yeah.
Really doing. Yeah, so I'm not like that.
Dave Kersey said that he took like 12 years on his PhD because he enjoyed it so much he wanted to string it out.
Mm. It's very TI and SI, I think, together are.
I also think for us, when it says meticulous research, is that maybe we think this is like the law of diminishing returns and we want to switch to something else rather than like have a laser focus on one subject. Because I then start thinking about the opportunity cost of if you concentrate on this one thing, you can't do these other things.
Yeah. I just get bored. I admit it. I just get bored. If I.
Unification and standardization, that's a 1.
Oh, that sounds like horrible. Horrible. Yeah, 1 for me too.
Right, okay, so let's just see how we're going. Right, 160 questions and we're on question 31.
Oh yeah, let's go quicker. Now let's be quick. For once we can do it. Okay, I often once golden criticism was lounging in a chair with a poker face. So like as a joke. No, what does it mean?
This is like a Rome the Plant type question.
Yeah. Okay.
Although I would say that his face is not quite so poker, in that he lets his contempt visibly show.
I don't do this. I put 1. You don't do it either. So, yeah. So, are we in the same 32? 32?
This reminds me of Rome the Plant in that video he did on Quadras with Karina, where he is lounging in a chair, saying, "I think Victor Soconics is stupid."
Yeah.
I use words very precisely.
Yeah.
No, that's
not
not it.
We're not like that.
In fact, I left a remark on the video because he did insult Victor. I left a remark, and
I remember you showed me. Yeah.
I don't do that often.
Yeah. Okay, 32. When I finally get something out of another person, a pleasant feeling. Well, yeah, I do. Like I said, I like to ask questions from my friends, and if I get them to open up, I feel very satisfied. So
but after applying pressure, though.
But I can be a bit.
Well, that fits ENFJ Ooh, INFP or
Yeah.
ENFJ? That's the debate.
Yeah, that's the debate. But I'm being honest again, so I put 4 on
Yeah,
that.
that's very good.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at that because I would go too far.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Because I'd come across as over enthusiastic. So,
Well,
for
I
instance,
can, yeah.
if I tried to put pressure on Maria, hey, do these translations,
Yeah,
I would get in trouble. It wouldn't go well.
yeah. Well, I'm just very curious. I'm so curious. That's maybe one of my most prominent characteristics is my curiosity. So that makes me wanting to get something out of a person.
I think this is like a question of like an EP temperament thing for number 33.
I'm not. I
Yeah.
wouldn't enjoy that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. Too much pressure.
Yes. Okay, 34. 5.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Okay. I have to make sure that I understand. So it means that I like honesty if I put 5, or like being
Yeah, no,
straight.
this is it's you. So, for instance, because you have studied like philosophy and logic, it's like you really dislike assumptions in statements. So, 5 would be if you hate people making assumptions.
Yeah.
So, like that's
Without.
one of the things. Yeah, that's one of the things we talked about in the meta model of language, where people make hidden assumptions.
Yeah, I really hate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Such
5.
such as an economy grows by demand. When it grows by production.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, I'm more attentive to the tone and intonation of the speech than to its content.
I'm glad he's
I
asked
guess
that
I am.
question. That's something that Dario has talked about with FI. That FI
Yeah, I
people do
know.
listen to that.
I'm afraid that I'm a bit biased or that I'm in some kind of self-deception with this one. That, like with the emotional reading test, that I thought that, yeah, I'm very good at reading people's emotions, then I actually suck at it. So how do I know? I don't know.
I actually would pick 4 of this because the content can change depending on how diplomatic someone's being, if they're lying. And maybe it's just a thing like because I'm on the phone a lot, and with Hangouts, they're being like, I'm attentive to tone, yeah.
I put 4. I usually do. Maybe more. Okay. 36.
Oh yes, I do like that. Kindness is a
Yeah.
massive thing for me.
Yeah, it's for me too. 5. 5 on that one. 37. I don't know. Have I offended you, for instance?
No. We had like that TI versus FI discussion. I never got offended.
You were or were not? Not.
No, we're
You were.
not.
No. I don't. Yeah.
Because I was
Not
worried if I
easily.
was offending you.
No. I can. Thing is that I can look that I'm offended when I'm thinking. Yes, I'm trying to, absorb what I'm. And when I'm thinking, I look angry because I scold. I know my eyebrows go like. So, but it doesn't mean that I'm angry. I'm just thinking. Yeah, that's always been. I have some days. Yeah.
What do you think Jack's score would be on 37? I think 5.
Yeah. It can be a problem if.
Yeah. We'll do in jokes about prominent people in the Soconics community. So we will mention Jack and Roan.
Yeah.
I
said.
Was his intent not to hurt them? Ooh, we don't necessarily know. But I would say, well, not for me anyway. People get offended by what I say. No.
No, I don't think so.
Quite often, no.
No. I put 2 on that.
But I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah, I don't. I never want to hurt. I seriously never want to hurt. Or almost never want to hurt. But if I want to hurt, they will really know that I want to hurt. So it's not like, yeah. So this is, yeah, I put 2 or even 1.
I think that's a good question. I like surprises. 1.
Yeah, I hate surprises. No, I put 2. Sometimes.
I've thought about, you know, when they have those prank shows on television.
Oh, yeah.
And if I was like pranked on television, I would be so angry.
Yeah, I would be too. I would probably laugh, but I would be really ashamed. Like I would never forget how that shame. So.
Ooh, I'd be. Yeah. Depending on how good my martial arts were at the time, I think I might snap because I don't like the pressure being put on. Especially if it was something that put me under so much pressure, because I would feel that the person had done it deliberately. And then would like judge them and say, "How dare you do that?" But there's what you feel like, and then there's what you actually do. So, having not been in that situation, I don't know what I would do.
I'm not sure I understand this theory now.
Okay. Yeah, I think English might be a little mangled.
But does it just mean that you're able to sort of like manage the?
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. I'll just analyze it a bit more. Right. This is a real FI&TE question, where the people who are good with FI, because they can judge their status with people very well, and depending on how that person behaves, they will reduce, or they will sort of like promote and relegate them in terms of their books. Like they'll have a mental note of like how close a friend someone is, and they'll be able to like, and because they're able to like just, or in other words, if we think of the opposite of that, where ESTP and ENTP are like overly assuming or overly suspicious, and everything's like black and white with their relationships, whereas it's more finely grained with the FI DOMs, because they're so sensitive to feelings. Other people's feelings and their own.
I think when I did this before alone, I put 4 on that, and I think I put 4. I still put 4 on this.
I have a difficulty with that one because it's my role function, and it's something I think about a lot. The appropriateness of, because I can be rather enthusiastic, and over enthusiasm can appear as manic.
Well, I can be like that too, but I think because I know that I scan my environment, my social environment, all the time. Sort of, I've noticed that I do that when I'm anywhere. So in a social situation, I sort of I have this natural scan of the relationships between people and how I should, act. So. Yeah.
Here's an SE question. So that's 5 for me. I don't know though. I've got to think about self in an emergency situation as different. Rapidly changing events. Yes.
I can be indecisive. I can't say that word. I can be
indecisive.
Indecisive. I can be that, but I also react very quickly. So this is a bit difficult for me to choose.
But you see, for me, I go into shock mode. And actually, biologically, someone being in shock is very good because it means at the moment of crisis, they're cool. And the problem is then later on, it then hits them as, oh my God, what they just went through. But from a biological point of view, being in a shock situation, in a crisis situation, is actually good because they're so calm during the crisis. Because it's like it's not really happening.
I have experience. I have experience of being like that. Yeah, I can be very calm in a crisis situation. And very rational and very.
But you see, that shock thing can also mean where they're in a shock, and it's like you might see in a movie where it's like someone might slap someone around the face. Hey, get with it! You got to make a decision. And it might be that when you're in shock, you don't make a decision because you're sort of like ignoring everything and not really taking it in and believing it. So I would say yeah, go on.
I was thinking maybe I have to choose 3 on this one. Yeah. Okay, so we have done 25% of this. Now we have to go. Now we are going to go quicker. Otherwise we can't finish this. What did you choose on that one?
Okay.
You voted 5. Yeah, you chose 5. Okay. Okay. 41. 41.
In fact, what I can do is I can make this bigger for people by
Yeah, you could maybe.
if I Control ++. You see, if he was higher up my functional stack, I might have already thought of that.
Yeah,
right,
and I should have. Maybe I should have thought of that.
Depends. ENFJ versus INFP.
Yeah. Okay. So I should look around.
Right. That's a number 1 for me.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable in chaotic and confusing situations, but I can. Yeah, I put 2 on that one.
I think it's quite funny when we can actually recognise which function they're actually asking about.
42. Unfortunately, this is 5.
that fits ENFJ and INFP.
Yeah.
Dramatic, not
dramatic. Especially dramatic for me.
Ooh. Victor would say that's ticking the ENFJ box. I think he even called it ethics of dramatic emotions for the FE and the ENFJ. One of the things I would like to... Yeah.
No, I was just thinking that maybe I can have some kind of defense mode about this ENFJ because I'm scared. In a way that I admire them a lot, but then I'm scared, also scared of admitting that I have some kind of tendencies.
The one thing in Model G that means you could be an ENFJ, although I do lean more towards INFP, is that what exactly is the conception in the model of how the FI operates? Because it could be like really high information where you're thinking about it all the while, especially being Enneagram 6. But it depends on, again, if you look at what you do in terms of if it's FI type behavior rather than just thinking about it all the while.
Yeah.
I mean, when the rubber meets like when you have a situation when it's like an FE versus FI situation, do you take the FI route of putting your own principles and feelings first over the group, or do you go with the group?
Well, it's interesting. If I'm thinking about, let's take like some FB groups, and if there are some heated feelings, like if there's a debate or something like that, I would say that 99% of the cases I stay calm. I will debate and I will argue, but I will be friendly and calm, which is interesting.
What about when you were younger? would you have been as calm? Because it just might be maturity.
No. That's true. No, I was not calm at all when I was younger. On the contrary. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know if that would be like, that could be like ENFJ or INFP. I don't know.
Okay, so, but hey, this 43, my muscles are usually in tone even during vacation. Does it mean that you're like somehow nervous or have tension, or does it mean that you're like,
That's right. I wouldn't have. That's right. That's helped me. That as in understanding the. Understand the question. I feel tense and restrained. Neither have light muscle to it. Wow, that's a real SI polar question. That is.
But I mean, is this positive or negative? Like.
Oh, negative. This is like what maybe if you think about the ENTJ that can't relax, and it's like they've been maybe they're a workaholic and they've been told by their company you have got to go away on vacation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can be tense, but it's not because I wouldn't want to be on vacation. It's because I just cannot relax for other reasons. But I'm not tense. I'm quite, as you can see, I'm quite relaxed right now. So yeah. I'm not. Yeah. I put 2.
Yeah, like I said, the ENTJ question, because right after it, it's like others will say I'm a workaholic. I wish I was.
Yeah, I wish I was. I was 1.
Yeah, Nicole did a video where she said that, where she wishes she could like switch to like an ENTJ in order to get stuff done, and then switch back to INTP.
Yeah. I could be a psychotherapist and actor. I could be not DJ, but I could be a therapist or an actor. Or
I could host hangouts on a radio station.
Yeah.
No need for share screen.
Sometimes I'm enjoying the fear of others.
I like how they put actress in brackets after actor. It's a little bugbear of mine.
Yeah. But why in brackets? Yeah.
I like that. I use the term thespian because it covers both.
What term?
Thespian for actor and actress.
I've never heard of that.
Thespian. From Thespis. It's like from the original Greek. Yeah, a thespian. It's usually associated with someone on the stage.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Or a DJ? Not really. A DJ? No, not a DJ. A Soconics? Show on the radio? Yes, because who's doing that now?
Yeah.
It's not much difference.
Yeah.
Except more viewers. We've got 1 at the moment. Thank you. Oh, here we go. Headphones fell off.
So,
that's a weird one. That's odd.
I would say if you did, you wouldn't put it here. So we will never know if you lie on this one.
No, I mean that's a bit peculiar. You can't see my face at the moment, but like, whoa, that's a nasty person putting that there.
Yeah, it's a psychopath kind of stuff. No, I don't enjoy. 5 for the 47.
Well, I like to listen to the Prodigy, but I also like to listen to Tchaikovsky because I like the strings. So I do like that smooth, but I also like a bit of Prodigy. You see, that might be a thing because I first heard them when I was 15.
Yeah.
So long, detailed conversation. Well, I like a hangout.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
And they do give me energy.
Yeah, Yeah, in Inspire. Yeah, I put 5 because I like those.
Yeah, I'll go for 4 because it's not listening to quiet music all the while.
This I don't know. I don't understand this 48.
I think it's more people who are speculative in terms of taking risks, and this is like the opposite of that. So,
Yeah.
for instance,
I
Guardians would tend to put a high number on this one. People who are more safety conscious.
Yeah, I put 4 because I am, but then also I've been made impulsive decisions. 4.
Although with me, I mean, when you're writing something, you're pretty much betting on the future.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of speculation.
When
you're writing something on spec.
Yeah.
I do bet on the future. A lot, actually. But like I said, any writer that writes anything that's speculative is betting that other people are going to like it and then it can go somewhere. And especially a novelist that will spend, I mean, most novels spend years on a lot of novels. Like George R.R. Martin spends a lot of years on each of his novels.
Okay. 49.
Yeah, I've just thought now. Yeah, just going back to that question 48, that's a real SI versus NI question. Where NI is going into the future and SI is thinking about now. Oh dear.
Yeah.
What do you think I should put for 49?
I guess you can. I don't know. I guess for myself, I maybe would know, but I don't do that.
Yeah. You might not need to. Oh, that's another bit of flattery.
This is useful. You're killing me now. Yeah. So that's
you see the key thing there, if you want to achieve the desired goals, it's not actually saying that if their flattery works in terms of if I know how to flatter. Yeah, but I do it mainly in humour though.
Yeah. Okay, I was thinking I do this when for example, I said that I've been taking care of my grandmother, and and I want her to take her medicine, so I may use some different means to make her take her medicine.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Like, and in this case, I will always big people up. Like, for instance, but it's when I genuinely think those things are true that I will emphasize people's positive qualities.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
for instance, if an INTJ has helped me produce all these graphics, I will big up the fact of how useful he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't lie. I never lie about anything.
In fact, this INTJ is so useful and so helpful that he doesn't think he's an INTJ. He's sort of wondering about his type. And I've been saying it is possible to have a nice INTJ that could be like 3-wing too.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's a good that's an SI question, 50 I reckon. Yeah, Guardians would click 5 on that.
Yeah, and if I'm very honest, I will have to put 4 on that 50.
Yes. Yes, I think I would as well.
I would like to have 3 or more children. No. 1. 2. I mean, I have 2 kids, and that's like the perfect number, not more. So.
Well, these are like the Guardian section, isn't it? Like ESFJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, because SI, because the caregiver.
Hmm. The core of my nature is to, no, I don't. I wouldn't say the core of my nature is to
Wow.
achieve.
That's sort of asking if you're an SI Dom.
Mm.
So avoid unpleasant. So that might be. This is sort of asking if someone's like an ISFJ with SI minus. Avoid unpleasant feelings. Or feelings or sensations. Avoid unpleasant. Well, what about that then? Avoid unpleasant feelings.
I don't know. This is like an ultimate hedonist view.
All right. Ah, right. Gotcha.
I put 2 on that one.
Put 4 on there. Ooh.
53. I often don't feel empathetic towards movie heroes.
This really depends. This like in my case, it depends how well it's written. If it's like written well, then I do feel empathetic. And of course, empathy relies on recognition of that the person is like them. So, for instance, I felt empathy towards George Costanza when I watched that in the late 1990s and early 2000s, because I recognised some of the traits in myself. And he's like very Enneagram 6, Hanna, George Costanza, because he was like a Woody Allen type character.
Yeah, I love Woody Allen. I mean, his movies, not his personal life.
Movie heroes. Oh gosh. Okay, I'll go. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I usually prefer the underdog, but it depends on the hero, of course. But I do. I mean, I love those Jane Austen kind of BBC epic dramas. So.
Yeah, this is another FI question.
I do. I put 2 because I do feel usually empathetic. Okay. These are very important words for me. Worthy or not, profitable or not, effective or not, 1. 2. I now put 2. 2.
Actually, that's quite important for me. But again, this is the problem. Is that this would be my TE control function, where in theory, they're important to me, but I don't actually act on them. And that's why I think for INTPs, JP questions can be a problem. Oh dear. I don't like that. Yes, I am discouraged by things.
I'm not. Well, no. Because I'm in that state all the time, so maybe I am discouraged, but it's my nature, so. I'm not. I put 1.
I put oh, what did you put 1 for? For 55, you put 1.
55. I put 1.
Ah, right. Oh, and you said that because you're in that state all the while that you sort of like push your way through it and
yeah, and I also
anyway.
Yeah, and I seek emotional depth. I don't know how to say it. I feel empty if I don't have strong emotions. So I think I also seek that. Yeah.
So
No, I say 256. Yeah.
right. Well, I'll put 1 for that, but that's because I'm interested in economics, which talks about the future.
Yeah.
And let's have a quick plug for Peter Schiff. Austrian School of Economics. I'll talk about that. There we go. QE4 is on the way. When something.
Five.
Oh, 57. Oh.
I don't always show it. I usually don't show it, but it does take me a long time to get balanced. In a way that I could act completely normal. An example. I'll tell you a small example. We had a lecture this week or last week, whatever. And then some people were talking there, and the teacher said to them that please be quiet. And then the student said like, no, we haven't been talking anything. And there was this tension, because everyone knew that they had been talking and they denied it. It was ridiculous because the situation. We are like adults in a class. And I felt really anxious about that, just observing the situation, like shame and anxiety and everything. And it took me like at least 10 or 15 minutes to calm down so that I could listen to the lecture again. So how would you react in a situation like that?
Actually, no, I might be 5 for that, for 57. But again, internally I feel the emotions. Whereas they might be thinking, when it says react very emotionally, they might think somebody smashing plates or something.
Ah, yeah. No, I think it's I understood it as an internal reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the best way to type someone is to, like, a proper tester to ask people these questions and then like to discuss the questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's quite different. It's quite different to do it so that you can talk about this. Okay, 58.
Always actually.
I do sometimes. I seriously have trouble understanding people because I'm just shocked that people can have motives that I've learned that they have. It's like really. So.
Yeah, that's the thing, especially when you're like a minority psychological type. But like, so for instance, a sensing type, I mean, like, an ESFJ answering this would be like no, because most people half of people are SJs, like 90% of people are sensing types.
I put 4.
Yeah,
I have to put 4 because I have had trouble.
But I understand their motives, but I judge them.
Yeah. I do that.
So for instance, they have their motives because they're a-holes.
Yeah. But I was more naive. I was more naive when I was younger.
Yeah, but although being on, if you're talking about the past, yeah, but there's understanding it, and then there's not agreeing with it or not. Yeah, but I've always been like super big in like when writing. It's like concentrating on motivation, the 3 M's. No.
So 59.
Yes.
Yes, 4. I put 4.
I tried to get a bit more SJ about it and say things to myself like, a place for everything and everything in its place.
Does it help?
I tell myself, yes.
Yeah.
Easily get a teary eye. No, not easily.
Me neither.
Now, interestingly enough, Jeff, who's an ESFP, is mentioned in Hangouts, public Hangouts, that he gets a teary eye, but that could be FE rather than FI. Because,
I don't get it because if there's something I really try to avoid until the very last, it's crying in public. So I don't get a teary eye easily.
but how about if something's happened and then you're talking about it inside, like just with close people, like if something's upset you?
I try to avoid crying in anywhere than with alone or with my husband. So I just don't cry easily. I avoid it.
But I think by teary eye there might just be like a moist eye, and then they sort of like a moist eye where they stop themselves from crying. And of course, good actors and actresses can do that, where they can moisten their eyes by actually thinking, "Oh, she's back."
We are really slow. But
That's okay. What number are you on?
61.
Oh, wow. Cool.
We have to speed up because it's getting later here. So, but you're well. You can jump on the. How do you call it?
61. I will go there.
Yeah. So I usually get a teary eye. Now I'm thinking, do I? But I don't. I try to hide it, but maybe I do. I don't know. I put 2. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm watching something. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you mean 60?
Yeah,
I
60,
easily get a teary eye.
Yeah.
That's a 4 for me. I cry way too easy.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. One of the toughest things to watch is, and I remember seeing it when I was 8, was like when they showed the news report for the Ethiopian famine in 1984. You probably remember. In fact, we all probably might remember that. Although.
Yeah. Okay.
I watched it again recently. I had to stop halfway through.
Okay. 61. I put 4.
I tend to care for my loved ones even in small things and affairs. Yeah, I would say 4 too, but I wonder if those small things would be different for each of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've talked about that before, haven't you, Crystal, where you concentrate more on emotional needs rather than physical ones.
Yeah, I'll notice body language and moods and kind of the atmosphere of the home really strongly. And where my mom would come and maybe she would notice, you seem a little hungry, or are you tired, or, she's very SI focused.
Yeah. So 62.
That's interesting, 62.
Ability to dive into central.
That's a real NI question.
Well, I don't have ability to do that, so I have to put quite a low score. I mean, I imagine, but because those are negative scenarios, so they really don't help me to be patient and careful necessarily.
I think that's a good question, that, because do you think a lot of INFJs can be like this, Crystal, where they go too much into their dreams and fantasy life that they don't actually, that they feel there's too much time for doing things, and then it might just happen, and they don't actually feel an urgency to like implement their dreams and plans?
I think it's strange because I do get lost sometimes when I have ideas of things that I want to pursue, but I don't find that it's a they've phrased it in a way that it's positive, and I'm frustrated with myself. I feel impatient that I don't put in a lot of action, that I spend so much time dreaming and tweaking and fine-tuning. So I don't know. I think this is more for those who maybe have careers as creative artists, whether that's with writing or music, that maybe they just kind of relish the process. I don't actually have that trait. When I spend time learning music or when I've tried to write, my perfectionism, that Enneagram 1, gets in the way, and I get impatient. I have to take breaks because it stops being fun for me after a while. I want it to be just right. So.
Well, what can help with that is like getting as much feedback as possible. And of course, with us being FE people, that positive feedback is such a help.
Yes, I think I've always thought this was more a perceiving trait. Like people that were perceivers were better at enjoying the moment and not trying to get to the result. They're more process oriented. So maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Thing is, though, for introverts, the JP thing is like, ooh, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Because.
But you think that's an I, that question was intended to be
for
an I?
Oh yes, definitely. Because you've heard EJ&D talking about INFJs, and Maria's talked about it. You can have INFJs that are just like stuck in their fantasies and their ideas, and they need like the ESTP to like shove them along and to focus their energies into this thing, and to like give them a kick up the backside and say, okay, do it.
Yeah. I did a chat with 2 INFJs that were a 9 and a 1 in Enneagram, and they both had much more dreamy qualities to them. Because I'm very borderline on the EI scale, like I think it's interesting. Yeah. It must be because I'm an FE subtype that doesn't really resonate with me.
And interestingly enough, I found something out about Jeff Miller. He's very close on S versus N.
I can see that.
And I actually think that when people write their MBTI type, they should put the strength of their preference after each letter.
Yes.
So, for instance, with you, Crystal, it might be I, 2. So it's like you've only got like a preference of like 2 points in the I direction. And then it might be N, 50 or something.
Right, and then my F is really strong.
Yeah. So with Jeff, it would probably be E, like 10, S, like 5, F, like 99, P, like 99. Because he's always said that he's got very strong F and P. And then he does his joke. So if you think about it, I'm controlled by my F and penis.
I've heard that before. Three, I can prepare food for myself and like doing it. I don't ever know how to answer that. That's a 3 for me because yes, I can. And if I make up my mind that I'm going to enjoy it, then I'll like it. But most of the time, it's an interference. It's an obnoxious interruption.
But it like depends. I mean, like you can have like really simple food, like a microwavable meal, or open a can and put it in a saucepan, or put a pizza in the oven. It's like there's an easy way of doing food.
Yeah, but that's not. It's. But do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy just shoving something in the microwave? Like.
But it's like it's such a little thing that it's hardly a chore to like put a pizza in the oven and set the timer and then come down and eat it. I mean,
It's an interruption.
well, I would think this would be. Yeah, but I'm hungry though. I'm hungry. It's like I'll go out of Hangouts. You know, I go out of Hangouts to get food and drink because I want the food and drink. So it's the payoff. And I can listen while I'm doing those things. Oh yeah, and because it's cooking, you can listen to stuff. You listen to Peter Chef talking while you're doing the cooking. I suppose what I would rephrase this question into as to how elaborate are people going to be with their food? How much time? So Maria puts a lot of effort into, and she actually seems to have a tension with herself in terms of where she doesn't particularly like it, but I get the impression with Maria that she likes the end product of really nice food, but she doesn't like putting all the actual effort in. So there's a little bit of a battle.
Right. Of course I enjoy food, but I don't want to pay the price. I would rather just go to a restaurant and have it just put in front of me.
Also, do you feel the pressure, Crystal, of like you're cooking for other people and you want them to enjoy it?
Oh, that's the most stressful. I probably enjoy cooking more just for the fun of it, but trying to do it for other people stresses me out. Because everybody's tastes are different, and the criticism, I don't know. I think I have a very critical father. His appetite, he was really particular about his food, and I think it gave me a complex.
Yeah.
So, but you have strong SI. You probably enjoy cooking, don't you, Hanna? Not really.
Well, I'm not very good at cooking. It's the same as I've said in some other videos, that I'm not good at handicrafts, like these crafts, like knitting and everything. So I can have these big ideas, but I just don't do it well. So it's the same with cooking, that I have this idea that I will make something great, and it's always a disaster. It's a bit, like.
Interesting.
The way I would ask this question is, how long do you spend on preparing the food?
Yeah, and I don't spend. I prefer doing something else than cooking. Yeah.
Although some people, it's like while they're preparing food, they can multitask because it's such a different activity from a mental activity that you can like listen to something. So I can imagine.
Yeah, sometimes I do, and I ever since I was a child, if I bake something, I can sit in front of the oven and just watch it grow in the oven, like for half an hour or whatever. I love to stare in the oven and see how my piece of art is like developing.
And there's loads of people out there who just like order takeout and never put anything in the oven and just put it in the microwave.
I would like to, The thing is that I would like to be a better cook, and I would like to be a more ambitious in cooking. But I'm a bit lazy in that also, to be honest. That I just cut time from that if I have to choose. So
So how much do you because if you're INFP and SI launcher, how much do you enjoy, like say, going to a restaurant and the food being good?
Well, I like eating and good food, but if I'm really honest, I get a bit stressed in restaurants because I don't like you have to order, you have to ask for the. I hate these social things, and then there are the other people, and I prefer eating at home, less social.
I think I put 5 for that.
I put 2. I have to put 2. Okay, 64. But these are a bit 2 different things, I think.
Yes, that's confusing.
Because I do spot and monitor any smallest changes, like because I have a very sensitive, I'm highly sensitive, also physical. Like I feel very easily. I have low pain threshold, or how do you call it? But my health, well, I've said that I had eating disorders when I was younger, so it was not a healthy body image. But I don't. I'm also lazy. I can be lazy with this, so it's always an effort to be to pay attention to my body. It's an effort, yeah. Because I have many friends, especially female friends, but also male friends that they enjoy taking care of their body. They enjoy, peeling their face or like putting these, these different kinds of expensive creams and taking care of their feet or something. And they enjoy that, and I don't enjoy it.
See, I think with this kind of question is, I think it should focus more on what people do rather than what people think, because, like, so for instance, if it concentrated on actions, like initially I put 5 there, but then I thought, well, I've not worked out in a while, so maybe in terms of actions, I'm not actually enacting this preference. So if it like had more suggestions, it was like, do you work out a lot? Do you like to give an, you know what I mean? Because then someone is walking the walk in terms of their preference.
My sister, she's an ESTP, and she's extremely focused on this sort of thing, and so I kind of have a tendency to compare myself to her because she notices every little additional weight gain or speck on her face, or I need to get my hair colored, or like she's really attuned to that sort of thing. And I'm somewhere in the middle. Like I'm highly sensitive physically, but that's more about my comfort level. Like And as far as my body image, I feel like I want to feel attractive, but then I spend time with her, and I feel like I must not really care very much because she cares so much. So I put a 3.
Yeah, I also put 3. I have exactly the same kind of motivation and reasoning as you. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, it is a cultural thing. Women still have more pressure in this regard.
True.
Sometimes I've gone from 5 to 3 because sometimes I don't know if I'm ill or if I'm hungry.
Oh, I know. I do know when I have very clear physical sensations. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, 65.
Oh, I hate being in charge.
Enjoyable. Wow, this is ESTP. Donald Trump's clicking 5 on this. It's a running joke we have.
Well, anyone in politics, I think, because.
And what you said there, Chris. Yeah, go on.
No.
I was just going to say, what Crystal said about an ESTP having all this SI stuff is like fits Victor's model of like SI control, where they like think about it a lot, but
I was thinking those were SE things. Like I think that's another problem. That self-image and that attention to the body, I figure, is more SE related. But I think when you talk about it in terms of force, like this question of being in charge and ordering others around, she's also very strong in that too. Like she has 5 kids, and it's a well-oiled machine at her house.
Right.
She keeps them all in line, and they have their chores, and let's get going.
Wow.
Also, I take issue with the Soconics definition of SI because I think it's half right, but I also very much respect how MBTI defines SI as almost the essence of guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would like to combine the two.
66. 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
And I put a 4 there because I feel like my emotions are very strong, and they do switch very quickly. But depending on whether or not I'm with people that I feel safe with, I do kind of put a cap on it.
Mm.
You know,
Wow.
I can try to hold
That's
them
like a
back.
that's like a static dynamic question.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
dynamic emotions.
I unfortunately have extremely strong mood changes, and I have trouble. I can also, if I'm in it depends depending on the company. If there are people I don't know that well, I can hide it, but it will still burn inside and ruin my my time. So
That's what Victor put in his report, that he thought that you were a
yeah,
hider, strong
yeah,
emotions.
yeah,
Mm.
yes. Okay, 67. What does this mean?
This is where someone is like, it's like if someone gets upset, they really like lay into people and tell them off and tell them exactly what they think of them.
Depends on, like, again, the closer the person, the more this happens. But seriously, it doesn't. It only happens with my husband. Yeah. So sometimes, yes, I put 4.
I'm putting a 3 because I still feel that pressure to hold back if I can tell it will upset someone. But sometimes when, like with my husband or with my children, they know how to push my buttons faster, and so it might catch me by surprise, and I'll have an explosion and then have to come back and calm down.
I doubt any of you two are going to. Oh, really? I took the wrong one. I should have clicked 5. I forgot the negative. Neither of you are going to select 1 on number 68.
No, I will say
I do a 2 actually. I don't enjoy it.
4. I find it disgusting.
Oh, that's yeah.
I just thought of a business. Hire an ESFJ or like hire an ISFJ. Do all this stuff. And you could like, if you have like a cleaner, you could say, I have been certified as ISFJ, so I will do a good job.
I think the word disgusting is really, really
Well, that's bad.
too strong.
Yeah, it is too strong. Because if you think, well, I'm studying to be a nurse, and nursing is very much about routines and everyday work. But there's a different. But I have a different motivation. That's a bit different. So that's why I put 4, because I don't like doing laundry or cleaning up, at home or anything like that. But if there is a deeper motivation for something, then.
Okay, I'll be back. Nature calls.
Okay, yeah, we'll be fast. We'll continue.
Okay.
Yeah. So any idea quickly becomes an action. Action, movement, and work. I don't need any time for emotional adjustment to it or waiting for the right.
That's not true for me. I feel like I spend more time weighing pros and cons before I take action.
If I have some kind of external pressure, sort of like, let's imagine if I'm at school or somewhere at work, and someone forces me to, that now we have to make a quick, or there's a deadline or something, then I can adjust quite quickly. But or if I'm enthusiastic about something, then I also can adjust really quickly. But I do procrastinate. How do you say procrastinate?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, a lot. So Yeah, it's again, it's motivation dependent with me.
Right.
Mm.
And so they tell you to stop doing threes, but I keep choosing three. It's hard for me to say.
Yeah. Yeah, we should try to choose 1, 2, or 4 or 5. 3 only in emergency. Actually, yeah. Well, yeah, but if I think about my special interest, like this color and style theories, and this, if I or like all these personality typologies, if I get an idea that I would maybe someone would help me to type myself, I will act really quickly on that idea. Because I won't wait for long to, because I know some people are like, should I see this consult or should I not see this consult, and then they are waiting, and but
Yeah.
I can act really quickly on this if I get an idea. So I put 4.
I think I'm slower. I'm slower to get on board with things. I've experienced this in committees that I've been a part of. I think the president is an ENTP, and she's just a boom, 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 just quick ideas. And I'm like her reins. I pull back on the reins all the time, and I'm always like, well, but if we do that, then this might happen, and I'm like projecting things into the future, and so I'm putting a 2 on that because I feel like I need time to adjust to the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, number 7. Almost all the time when someone imposes their rueful feelings on me, I want to go away from this person as soon as possible.
I don't know, what is rueful?
I was thinking it was like sad.
It's like, remember the expression, you will rue the day? When, someone warns someone, you will rue the day when you crossed me. So rueful is probably like regretting.
Yeah, okay. So they're feeling sorry for themselves? Is that what that means?
So this is my buttered hot cross bun. So people, SI important for me. Right, so I'll go back to share screen. Although I'll show people what drink I'm going to have as well.
That's difficult because it depends on the person for me. If there's somebody that
yeah, I'll put it back on mine. Right.
Depends on what they are like feeling so bad about. I do tend to listen to people a lot, and as you said, I think Crystal, you also said that you do a lot of emotional work.
So, what did you click for 69? I've clicked 1 on 69.
4.
Oh wow, that's your suggestive TE.
And my impulsivity also. Yeah.
And I put 2. I feel like I take a long time before I'm on board with new ideas.
Yeah, that fits INFJ.
So I don't know how to answer this question because if I find there's a person that's consistently negative and they just seem to enjoy being depressed, then I do want to get away from them as soon as possible because I feel like nothing I say helps the situation. But if it's somebody who I think has reason to feel regretful or sorrowful and they're grieving or they're really sincerely sad, I tend to stick around and let them talk. So almost all the time when someone imposes their rueful feelings on me, I guess I don't avoid it. Like, I think my husband, as a thinking type, he doesn't want to sit and listen to sad stories.
Oh no, yeah, it's the same with my husband. He has like 5 on this.
Do you want to say what the types of your husbands are to the audience?
Well, I think he's an LII, an INTP, and MBTI. That's what.
Yeah, and mine is, well, he always tests as ISTJ. So yeah, I think he's ISTJ, and he read he hasn't taken this test yet because I'm just also taking this now, but he has taken some other socionic tests and read some descriptions, and he thinks he's we usually compare SLI and LSI, and he relates more to delta, so SLI. There is a chance that he could be ILI also.
Yeah.
So I think
that fits.
one of those three, yeah.
And in fact, that actually is extra evidence towards SLI.
Yeah.
Because I've got a bit of an agenda in that the types are compatible, so I do think ISTJ is SLI, especially in the profile it says prudent and economical. I'm like, whoa, that's really Guardian.
Well, it's interesting because my husband often tests. He tests LII and SLI. It depends, and I think he could be. He's economical and prudent. Like, he's very careful with his money. So I think he relates more to the Alpha Quadra. So it just, I think this isn't necessarily a personality trait completely. Sometimes upbringing really affects that.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah, that's why I question the quadras and like just try to use them for like communication style and like intertype relations, and also there's usually a style of humor associated.
Oh yeah.
So for instance, alpha and delta is quite similar, and beta and gamma is quite similar in that they're like beta human can be a bit rude, unless alpha and delta's more less rude, I suppose, a bit quacky, a bit quirky, I suppose.
Okay, now
I will achieve my goal even doing the elbow work.
No, 1.
I would say that's actually a 4 for me, but
Ooh.
I'm very slow to decide what my goal is. So once I've made up my mind, I need it finished.
Ah, that's interesting. It's a little bit of suggestive SE.
Perhaps.
Bit of a difference. So, I hope the people listening who think Crystal's an INFP take note of that.
Okay, 72.
They're not key features in me, but I like them in other people. Very much like those in other people.
Well, honesty is my key feature, and I am quite kind when I'm not too in a bad mood. And I used to have, like what I described about my childhood, I had an extremely strong work ethic as a child, and I think I somehow burned out maybe when I was a teenager. But nowadays I don't have that. Well, it depends. 4.
Yeah, I'm putting a 4 as well.
Right.
I have a flexible frugal. What is frugal?
Cheap with money, stingy.
But Mauri,
Careful with their money. Parsimonious. Oh no, for movements. Yeah, it just means economical with their movements, I suppose. Yeah, economical.
Yeah, so it doesn't move much.
Yeah. A minimum of movement, or...
I can move. When I'm enthusiastic, I move a lot. But
yeah, this is like an SE versus SI question, where someone, like if you were describing a woman, like she's more graceful, whereas you compare like an ESFP, like more energetic, I suppose.
I don't know how to answer that. I feel like I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, you're quite graceful, Crystal. You're not buzzing all over the place.
Well, I guess when I think of soft movements, I think of those who are naturally good at dancing. And I don't have very good rhythm, so I don't know.
Crystal, you could ask your husband about 73. See if he what mark he gives you.
Right.
And he's like, you better give me a 5.
That's funny. Mm.
I have no idea. I have to put through. I seriously don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I have these kind of, my hands are like, but then I also can speak like this and be really all over the place. So I don't know. It depends. I put 3. I learn new dance movements easier than other people.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's definitely not true for me.
I love to dance, but I haven't taken real dance classes for ages.
What type of dancing?
Well, I haven't taken. Well, when I was a child, I did a little bit ballet, but I'm like the opposite of the ballet dancer. I'm not very flexible or anything, but I do like to dance, and I think if I would say that I do learn the movements maybe easier than some, but of course some people are very good at dancing, so I'm not like that. But yeah, I have to put. I would put 4.
The reason I asked about that was I was trying to work out, with the suggestive SE not suggestive, launcher SE in ENFJ,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't really know what that looks like though. Launcher SE and ENFJ.
I have no idea. But I have to say that I learned them rather easily. And
yeah, and also practice as well, because you did do ballet. That would have.
Yeah, but I only did it like for 1 year or so, and as a child. Yeah.
Okay.
But I did then some jazz dancing, and then when I was in the university, I did some Afro dance and something like that. But I love to dance, and it's the only like how do you say, kind of only sports that I like and that I have gotten compliments or like how do you say. Because I can be quite clumsy in many sports, but in dancing I'm okay. Yeah. So I put 4.
Yeah, that's. I mean, for INFP that could be like launcher SI, but ENFJ it could be like launcher SE. So that doesn't. Systematized collections.
Not really.
I don't really have many. No.
I had some, but I didn't collect systematically. But if I had something like Barbie clothes or whatever, I did sometimes systemize them. I put 4. I did have some dolls and soft toys that I wanted to have in a certain way, but I didn't have any like stamps or money or any collections like that. No, I know I have to put 3 on that one. Okay, now I have to go to sleep in half an hour, so now we have to hurry up.
Oh wow! We're not even past halfway.
Yeah, terrible. Okay, 76. I always had troubles to understand and feel the future.
2.
Yeah, 2.
Lots of things new or unusual and familiar objects around me.
Not any question.
Well, I don't do that all the time, but I'm pretty good at, even as a child, I could play with weird things. I remember once when this one child, and I do it with my own kids also, that I can take something that is not, like something totally random, and start to play with it and create a character on it. So I can do that.
I mean, in general, children's imaginations are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
When they're under 10.
Mm. But I always spot something new or unusual in the family objects. I wouldn't say so.
And nearly all kids in Britain can do an American accent when they're under 10.
I'm a supporter for radical changes in the world order.
Not radical. Well, it depends on what you mean by radical.
Right.
Mm. Well, yeah, in a way, yes, I would want more egalitarianism, like everywhere. But I don't know if it's a radical change to have equality, or.
Right. What does that mean?
Mm.
Ben, how do you answer that question?
I put 5. But you see, if it actually put something like what people actually do, rather than just their preference, like if it had said, are you part of an organisation which is pushing for radicals, then I would say no. So I think these questions should focus more on what people actually do.
Yeah.
But what kind of organizations are for radical change? If I'm part of UNICEF or Amnesty or something like that, are they for radical change or?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, someone would have to be part of, say, the Socialist Party, rather than just a proper Socialist Party, rather than just, say, Social Democrats, or a Libertarian who would want a radical change to hard money with a gold standard would be, some people would consider radical, but we would say, no, that's sensible, we've had it for thousands of years. Well,
I put 4 because if there was a good means for.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not actually part of the organisation, so it's like I don't feel right putting 5. But then again, organising libertarians is like herding cats. Because they don't, they don't.
That's true. Okay. 80. All my desires are supported by strong and confident emotions.
Oh, or 79. Did we jump on?
Oh,
That one.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry. I answered one. If I want, I can go against the public opinion easily.
5. I can. I don't like it, but I can. And I have. Then.
And a 4 for me. All my desires are supported by strong and confident emotions. I think.
Yeah, strong but not confident. So that's
Right.
That's the thing.
4.
Yeah, I put 4. Okay.
I'm attentive to any changes in my body and usually catch very first signals of disease in order to take preventative medication.
I'm pretty good at 4.
Yeah.
On that one. Yeah.
For me too. And I think it would be interesting to see what being a highly sensitive person, if that affects and interferes or changes your type results, because I'm answering things that maybe somebody would say is 82. When I might set my mind on some business idea, I will meticulously go toward it and can ignore meaningless issues or circumstances.
1.
Yeah, 1 as well.
I don't ever. My father's an entrepreneur. My sister's an entrepreneur. I've been surrounded by business idea talk my whole life, and so I know how to like support their ideas, and they've employed me in the past, and I know how to stay focused. But if it were just on my own shoulders, then I don't want to do it. So I don't know how to answer that. See why I choose 3 so often? Oh my gosh.
Wherever you are at the moment, Hanna, your reception is better than where we've done.
What is better?
Your reception, the quality of your webcam, the signal strength, I suppose.
It's because the light. I have the light is just ahead, like.
Right, gotcha.
That's it. Yeah. Now I'm looking at. So this is a better place, and there's a lot of white around me, and the lamp is closer. So this, but problem is that this is like in the middle of our kitchen and living. We have this kitchen and living room like one place, one huge place, and so the kids and everyone are always walking around.
Right, gotcha.
And the kids' room is just over there, but they're sleeping now. So I usually can't be here. I have to be in our bedroom.
Right.
Yeah, but now I chose this.
Oh, yeah, but usually, I think it's pretty much the same as other hangouts we've done.
83?
Yep.
Is that okay? Is it true that I dislike to discuss serious topics in the not serious surrounding?
Yeah, yes, I do.
I dislike to discuss serious topics in the not serious.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
well, I don't. I can be the spoiler of the party, so to say. So, yeah, I have to put 1 on that one.
So would you put for that, Crystal, 5?
It depends on who I'm with. I kind of go along with the group when it comes to this type of thing.
Well, say if it was a hangout,
Mm-hmm.
Would you like try to think, oh, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go in that area. I'll keep my views to myself.
Well, I consider when it's a not serious surroundings, like to me, I'm thinking like a boisterous party, and that to talk about somebody's death or their divorce or something sad, I would feel uncomfortable. I wouldn't not engage if I could tell somebody wanted to talk about it, but
like if like discussions of religion and politics crop up, do you tend to sidestep those and think, hey, that's a bit more private?
Usually, yes.
I never avoid them. And as we have seen in some ethnic groups, I have, people usually see me as more serious and moralistic than I am. And I think it's only because I don't avoid these things. I can talk about these difficult things without, how to say, well, I really don't mind them. And usually wherever I go, I end up talking about some really bad things. So I put 1 on. I mean, this is actually maybe the strongest,
Interesting.
or the easiest question to answer to me was this one. I do tend
is it partly because of your degrees because you've been discussing it so much?
Yeah.
That, right, I've got something to say on this subject.
Yeah, of course, but I also think that I went to study this subject because I like to discuss. But but behind this is that more than anything, I'm scared of indifference and hiding suffering. So I prefer to grab it all to the sunlight and just that we all, or to the daylight, how you say it. So that I prefer to talk about all the hard stuff because I know that hiding it is much worse. So it's sort of, I think it's some kind of defense mechanism even.
It's interesting, Hannah, that sometimes you give like ENFJ answers, and sometimes you give INFP answers, and then we have to think, well, maybe the Enneagram 6 is, and this is well, if you get like an odd combination of Enneagram and Jungian type, you like really get confused then.
Yeah,
right. It does. It kind of makes you more polarizing. It's not easy to pin you down. Well, and I think I enjoy those topics. They're probably the most interesting things to discuss with people. But I usually tend to gauge my participation based on the people I'm with, because I don't consider myself a very persuasive person. I feel like talking about those things with somebody who proves by their behavior or their attitude that they're immovable in their opinions, then I just know, okay, you're not going to understand where I'm coming from, and it feels like a waste of my energy.
Yeah,
So
and usually it is a waste of energy.
So
What
I'm
you said?
putting a 4.
What you said there, Crystal, I think fits the creative FI in the Model G of INFJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they actually think about the relations and the individual person, as you described, in terms of the discussion.
Interesting.
So it's
Yeah. Well, it's fun when we come out as NFs and humanitarians, but then those few questions where there really is a difference.
Yeah.
Interesting. 84. I have a talent to almost enchant people and inspire them because of my charm and people abilities. I always just think of extroverts being good at that. Like, I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, but I would just say that.
Yeah. What if the ENTPs and the STPs? Not so much.
They would prefer, I mean, this is also cultural because in Finland, no one can do this to Finnish people. I mean, just bring anyone and no one will be enchanted by like anyone. So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we are. For instance, it has never worked in Finland that this candid camera thing.
Oh yes, I hate that.
We're just too flat people in a way that we just don't. We are not easy to fool, and we don't. We're very suspicious, and you know.
Yeah, I call that harassment. I mean, I remember once they used to have a show. It's hilarious when you're a child and you're watching something called Beadles About, and like in the intro it shows a man. They put like a stunt van in, so he thinks his van has gone like into the river, and like this man's just, oh no! And that's hilarious when you're like 8 years old and you're watching these sort of programs.
Right.
Or like the Pratt family, like someone who's like in a they're in a shop, minding the shop, and then the Pratt family comes in and knocks everything off, and then that would be hilarious for children. But
yeah. But I'm thinking about this. No.
Oh, here we go again.
I feel like
85.
I'm responsive to any request to do some work around the house. No.
I put 1. Yeah, I'm totally not responsive if I'm asked to do something. I mean,
I do it. I put a 2 because sometimes I will, but I usually try to find a way around it.
You know, question 84. I wonder if Talanoff is an INTP thinking about an ESFJ, because that's like an idealized description of an ESFJ. Talent to enchant people and inspire them because of their charm and people abilities.
Well, I think ENFJs can be that way too, like in a teacher role or a motivational speaker type of position.
Yeah.
It must be FE related. And I feel like with children, when I'm teaching children, I feel like that's true of me. Like I would put a 4 for it if it's working with kids. You know, when I teach, I feel that sense of that they'll follow me anywhere, and I don't know that that's true with adults. So
in which context, Crystal, do you teach them?
In several different contexts. I've done teaching of music. I've done teaching in church settings and art classes. So in any of those, they get excited and they want to participate and they want a teacher's approval and attention, and does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think you mentioned this before, where you love it but you find it draining at the same time.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yes. I do love it, but then I come home and collapse.
Right.
86.
Satiety. So wanting to be satisfied.
The keywords for me are, I wouldn't say that the keywords, but they do.
Well, it's difficult because whenever I read these types of questions, I'm wondering, are they talking about it in concrete terms, as in physical hunger and physical enjoyment, or just the concept of finding pleasure and enjoyment and satisfaction and having my hunger and thirst for knowledge satiated, you know, like it's which.
What about me? Read this question. Like, got crossburn, got some iron brew in my favourite mug, and I'll put 4 for that.
Yeah, I will put 4 also.
Okay.
I'm good in forecasting.
Event.
What? So it means that knowing beforehand. What? No, what does it mean? Knowing before.
Yeah, I am, because I learned the principles. That's just me. With Austrian school economics, we know what's going to happen. It's not if, it's when.
Well, I would say that I have several scenarios, so maybe one of them is true.
Although I was horribly wrong about the US election in 2012. I had like 6 reasons why Romney would win, and they were all wrong. So after that, I was like, oh no! I was like,
I'm not so good in forecasting events. I have to put 2.
I think it's difficult because I don't. Do they just mean like world events, political events, or are they talking about like how things are going to play out with a group of people, or in a business? Like you can tell when something's going south. Like I'm really good at those types of projections, but not on a world. So I put 4, but maybe it depends.
Yeah, I looked at this when I think when I went through it with Hanna, it's like both INFP and INFJ think of the cause and effect of feelings on people.
Right.
What,
you can
what
project
they say. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why I put 4, because it's usually forecasting events of bad things are going to happen.
I'm losing a point. I'm taking a point off because I got the election wrong in 2012. So.
Yeah, I have to put 4 also because it's true. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Forecasting. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now 10 minutes. So.
Yeah. We won't finish.
Let's try to hit 100 at least. Okay.
Yeah. Biggest laugh of the night is to get all those done in 10 minutes.
It is almost true that vacation for me is not something relaxed when I do nothing, but rather one useful activity switches to another.
Oh no, one.
So what we could do is, say in 10 minutes we could like pick it up and like do the rest of it, say tomorrow or another day.
Okay. I put 2. I feel like I need to relax, but I do occasionally have like a planned activity or something. Number 89. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's okay. I put 1 because I need to relax. Yeah.
Okay. I'm very attentive to moral side of human behavior, and I always pay attention to obscene acts of my friends and acquaintances.
5. This is one of the easiest ones also.
Yeah, I put a 4. I feel like I notice and I pay attention to it, but
oh yeah, that's a 5.
It's not exactly about me because I probably make allowances for people that I care about. Try to cut them slack because I know why they have the struggle they have.
A running theme. Someone once wrote on my videos that they thought I was an INFP because I was like condemning ENTPs and judging them. So, but I would say that's role function. Is since I went over 30, that's something I think more about, and it's
right.
And it's in Victor's wonderful, and it really is a wonderful INTP profile.
90.
Just, there we go.
Sometimes it seems I'm melting in the universe, forgetting about my body, physical pain, and pleasures.
What?
Yeah. I'm melting in the universe, forgetting about my body, forgetting physical pain, forgetting pleasures. That's very true of me, though. I feel like I thought that was an NI type of thing, that you just kind of detach and dissociate from your physical body.
I think, yeah, it is.
So
This
I
lucid dreaming or something. I have one. I never, ever. I mean, I'm the worst person to meditate or do anything like that. I just cannot get separated from it.
Interesting.
Ooh.
That's a good difference showing too.
Yeah.
91. My shortcomings are in that I'm taking on too many tasks and can't see the perspective I need. People who are to cool me down and assist me in organizing my time logically.
This is an ESFJ question. This is like this is describing an ESFJ.
Mm.
What do you think that sounds? Do you think that sounds ESFJ? Number 91.
I think my sister, ESTP, she takes on way too much. She thinks she can do it all, and she usually does. So maybe that's the difference, is she actually gets to it all, and my ESFJ sister doesn't. She has good intentions and says yes to everybody, but then drops the ball. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think yeah, go on.
And then I was just thinking that when me and my husband met when we were in our early 20s, some of our first disagreements were because he was really bad with timetables, and I'm really good with timetables. It's weird if he's the ISTJ, but he's very optimistic. Like, yeah, I can do this and this and this, and he, of course, couldn't, and he failed with the timetable. But he couldn't. I mean, he still felt that he had to do everything, so he couldn't like prioritize. He's not very good at always prioritizing, whereas I am a lot more strict with.
So, do you think that sounds EJ, Crystal? What Hannah just said there.
That she's
extroverted judging.
Yeah, I think my ENFP brother, I think he would score high on this as being one of his shortcomings, because he does that. He fills up his social calendar and his work calendar and his school calendar really to the max, but then he'll like be distracted and go off and do something not even on the schedule.
Yeah.
He's really bad at like sticking to a schedule.
Well, I can do that nowadays more, and it's funny because we have changed with my husband. Our roles have changed, but I have more trouble nowadays.
So, Hannah, because both of us are like NE types, do you think that we take on too many interests or have too many books to decide between? Yeah. So it's like, so like the JP questions would be weird because like internally I would like have a plan, so I read all these books, but then I don't stick to it.
Yeah, it is very hard for me to stick to my plans.
Yeah. So that's like supposed to be the books that I read each day, and then like the preference, but I don't stick to. This is why JP questions like internally I'm organized, but I don't stick to it, and it's probably exacerbated because I'm an NE subtype.
I put 2 on that 91.
I will put 3 because I just cannot. I don't know. I don't know what my preference is. Yeah. Okay, 99. We have 2 minutes. Okay.
I like to play games with people as if they were chess men.
No, 1.
No.
What's that mean?
Oh, that's horrible.
It's horrible.
That sounds like an ENTP.
Well, I'm putting a 1 as well. 93. I'm very economic at home, consistently energetic, and dutiful in any work.
1.
What?
Consistently energetic? No. But I feel like I'm putting a 3 for that because it's moods. Like sometimes I get like an itch to organize, and I'll just like go and clean out a closet. And then a week will go by and I'll recognize how clutter had built up. Like I'm not very consistent.
Me neither.
So it's like that's an interesting thing with Crystal. It's like the JP thing of like externally organized, but internally you're worried about being disorganized.
Definitely.
And feeling dynamic in terms of
Yeah.
fluctuating emotional states, things.
I do find comfort in organizing things on the external. 94. In my imagination, I often see the same object in its different time stamps. I don't understand that question.
Time stamp.
This is about perceiving change. So you could imagine, like, sometimes if you go like the Wayback Machine, like say a website's gone down, and it shows what the website looked at certain points, so timestamp. So this would just be like the real equivalent of that would be see how an object has changed. So maybe if you've got something around your house that's like, I don't know, just something how something has changed, and you can, again, this is an NI question, that the way you are able to perceive change in something.
Well, in people I do, but they are not objects. I hope.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. Like, it's like the frequently said that when you have when old couples talk about an old couple still in love, when they see the person, there's sort of like the memory of what they used to look like is sort of within their view of the other person as well.
Yeah.
It's just like if you have a favorite act.
You can do it with your children. Like I can remember what they looked like at 6 months and 14 months and 7 years old, and now they're 11. Like.
Do you two like have a favorite actor that you had a crush on, like when you were a teenager, and like you see them now, and it's like you still remember what they look like?
Oh, definitely.
And you sort of see that on them.
Yeah.
And somebody else is going, that old bloke. Really? Yes, he was really hot.
That's funny. Well, so can we do it with people? Because I can have a 4 on my score if we do it with people. But
I think so, because I think it's an NI thing.
Okay, 95. Very often my imagination flows into some global ideas and plans, even into the active transformation of the whole world.
Well, very often I do think about it. Well, for instance, when I'm doing my PhD or now when I'm in the nurse school, I do have these ideas that then I'm gonna do this and this, and you know, I enjoy these kind of, even if I know that I'm not gonna change the world, but I do like to think these because it motivates me to think that I can have a change in the world.
Oh dear, I think about things like what would happen with the gold standard, what would happen with the fair tax, what would like, but
yeah. Then I also think that my younger son is ESFP, and he's quite good at all kind of, you know, doing somersaults, and he's very kinesthetically talented. I don't understand how because I'm not, but then I'm thinking, yeah, this is good. I mean, he's going to be rich and he's going to like support us when we are old. Or that my elder son, who is a very clear intuitive type, always been, that he will be some kind of game designer. He'll create a new Minecraft.
That's fun.
But like for that imagination thing, I think what would other countries be like if they were like the Bahamas, where it's like where they have like no income tax, the taxes are really low, but like all the rich people there have to employ the inhabitants, so the inhabitants get paid a load of money.
I put 4 because I have done that all.
Yeah, I put 4 as well, but mine is usually just wanting harmony, peace and harmony, like wanting. I have dreams and I fantasize more about like living in a world that doesn't have all those stupid things I see on the news every day.
Yeah, that's
too depressing.
Yeah, I do dream about that too. Okay.
Sometimes I feel sudden alienation. Everything around me begins to look numb and deadly.
Well, that's
Ooh.
depression, and I know. I have that. I have those feelings, but well, it's hard to say what is like healthy and what is unhealthy.
Sometimes, yeah.
I do, but I do feel that I put 5.
Yeah, I put a 4 for that.
If you see, if that was a little bit more specific, like instead of saying sometimes, if it was like, so if it said something like 3 or 4 times a year, or because like how often is sometimes?
Well, mine is daily, like every day. I get the moment.
Wow.
Yeah. So, or at least weekly. But I would say it's part of my life. I'm moody. It changes.
Yeah. So for instance, you could be ENFJ, but like hormones and things that like because like what I mean is whoa. What I mean is like because hormones can determine like it's like those that have like a load of, you said something about, I don't know if you want to talk about the dopamine thing.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, because I don't know, did I tell you, Crystal, that I got my genetic, well, my DNA done.
Cool.
Yeah, and it told me that, well, of course these are just like genetics, it's not deterministic, but I do have this, how do I say, this genotype, the so-called warrior, well, I can't say this in English, but that I'm sensitive to dopamine, meaning that I get very stressed if there are some happenings in my external world that will increase my dopamine level, because I don't need it. I'm very sensitive to it. Whereas that other genotype, they require more like external activities to increase their dopamine levels to feel like more like happier or more balanced. So I'm like the opposite of SP types.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And so if someone's an ENFJ, but they have that hormone, then they're going to feel like, internally, they'll probably feel like an INFP when they read a profile and they learn about SE polar.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I call the temperaments the hormonal temperaments.
Yeah.
And then Jung's temperaments I'll call like the cognitive temperaments, because it's like it's two different things.
They are.
Yeah,
they are two different things. I agree.
And what I love about Hin Kretschmer is actually writing in 1925 how much is to do with the brain and then the effect of the secretions from the glands on the brain. Because in 1925 he didn't really know the names of the specific hormones involved, but he would know from certain conditions where, this person with a hyperactive thyroid gland or these glands, and he said that you could, because he looked at people who were psychiatric with extreme conditions, and because like the hormone was so exaggerated, it was clear what the effect was. So among psychiatric patients, you could work out that from their physical characteristics whether they were a schizotype, so a tendency towards schizophrenia, or whether it's a cyclothyme, so a tendency towards depression or mania. But amongst the normal population, there was like an admixture of like both among the normal population. But you see, Kretschmer has been misrepresented so much that he's like, is this man who's saying that you can tell what someone's temperament is by the look of them, and he's just has this terrible reputation is by people who've never read the book.
Interesting. Well, the way you described it, it did sound like that would be the direction people would take it. Is that if they could tell those hormones just by looking, that then it would go as far as saying what type of person.
Yeah,
so
and it's only when it's in extremis, like when it's that it has a. But yeah, it's a cracking book. and Hanna's has the PDF now.
Yeah, it's free. It's free in the internet because it's a very old book, so they usually have those as PDFs.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll continue until the 100 and then.
We're almost there. 97. I can wait to choose the best moment to overthrow my competitor.
I'm not vengeful.
So, Crystal.
Yeah,
So,
that one.
maybe what about when you were both caught in your husbands? Did you overthrow a competitor?
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't. I would have. No, not really.
Yeah, that's no.
No, I'm not at all.
98. I am inclined to some conflicts and aggression, especially when I get bored. No.
I have to be honest. I am inclined to some. I can do this.
I feel like I want to understand the difference between what they're asking and then my tendency for irritability when I'm stressed.
Mm. No, I think this ask, especially when I get bored. So if you are starting to feel like numb and deadly, like this before, then you start to, you need some action.
Ooh, that sounds like suggestive SE. Hanna.
But this is weird because but this is weird because I shouldn't like that. If you think that if I have this dopamine sensitivity, but I do this, and it's weird.
It might be a mixture, like cognitively.
And
with the dopamine.
And there is also genetic because I have this another genotype over this gene that I have this impulsivity gene, like one allele. So one is normal, one is this impulsivity, which on the other hand makes me more dopamine friendly. So I really am a mix. It is a mixture in my.
How much did it cost to get your genome?
It was in euros. So in euros, it was 169. I think it's $99, 99 bucks in the States, and something like 120 something pounds, I think.
Right.
It's 23andMe. 23andMe is the site.
So you paid. So in euros, you paid a heck of a lot more. Than if it's $99, but you paid 160 euros, then.
Yeah, it's the postage, I think. Oh, partly. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's mad.
It's a lot more.
How did you answer 98, Ben? Do you have conflict aggression when you're bored?
I'll put 1.
Yeah.
But that's an SE. That's an artisan question. Like,
That's
especially
a
the
3. I put 3 because I feel like it's probably happened before, but I don't feel like I'm inclined to do it. I think my conflict and aggression comes out not from being bored. It's when I'm feeling misunderstood or if I'm tired and irritable.
But
so it's more emotional. It's not for a mental stimulation or something. Okay, 99. Sorry.
This is really hard for me. And this goes to my problem with JP questions. Is
99.
Yeah.
Well-organized scientific mind. You think you score?
It's hard because, like I said, internally I'm organized, but when it comes to implementation,
But it's about your mind. So if your mind is well scientifically organized, then I think you can score high. It's not about the outside.
Yeah, but I think if I was more organized, I'd do more research. Like, I've not finished Dario's book. I love Dario's book, Neuroscience of Personality, but I've only read 2 chapters of it. I feel terrible.
I'm the same. I'm thinking, if, as a writer, I am well organized and scientific. So when I know it, I really am. So, and I enjoy being like that. I want to be very clear and concise and well structured. So I do that. But then my emotions like mess up everything. I think,
But you see, what I do. One of the problems with me with reading is that I don't read things, I analyze things. So I will like analyze things in like super depth. But like for instance, what he means is that it takes me ages to get through things. But I will remember it So it's like I might spend like 2 hours on 2 pages, like really like saying, well, this matches this function, and this could be this. This matches. So, but what it means is I remember it.
So TI. So TI. Yeah, like TI to the.
Slow though.
Yeah. What did you put, Crystal?
I am saying a 2. I don't think I'm that organized in my mind. Like, I don't think that's something that is natural for me. I feel like my ideas are too vast and too broad and too ongoing that to like break it down into like tiny little pieces and line it up, I wouldn't know how to do that. That would be something I would want help with.
But in terms of your actions and the things you've accomplished, would people like objectively looking at that and say, oh, you must be organized to have achieved those things?
Well, I think there's a difference between physical organization and organized scientifically. I think the word scientific is what made me say low, because I don't think I'm very precise or efficient that way. I don't really value that very much.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I guess I could put a 3, but I don't know how to answer that.
This is really, how much of an NT are you? That's
right.
What this question is.
Yeah.
I have mistyped as NT, so.
So it's higher for you.
Yeah, I would 4. Okay, so let's take the 100 then, and then
okay.
I just have to.
We'll come back. The best way to stimulate people for high quality work is to find them and deduct from their wages. That's so cruel.
No, this is the Austrian School of Economics.
No, I would not. No, wait a minute, that's not Austrian School Economics.
I'm teasing.
The Austrian School Economics would be, want to be kind to your workers because they might leave and go somewhere else.
Yes.
I put 1.
Yeah, 1. Yeah. So now I'm tempted to, but take this.
But you see,
like,
in this situation though, I would like be very choosy who I was hiring first, and I would have a tendency to go towards more SJ type people, who I knew already were going to with the right character and had a record. So that my personal approach would be to get really good people and then be hands off, because I know they'd be really good, and those types of people don't like being micromanaged.
No, yeah, it's true.
So it's just like, have either of you ever seen the film Bugsy Malone? It's where they had like 12-year-old kids playing gangsters. But the reason I bring it up is that the director spent a year casting children.
Oh, wow.
And went in so many schools, and like to cast like the mafia boss, like the casting agent went into like a school in Brooklyn and asked for the naughtiest child for him to play the mafia boss, and it's like exactly the same. Like spending a year on getting the right people. Someone, I think Ridley Scott once said that if you've got a good script and a good cast, it's really hard to mess up a film. So it's like, before I got to that stage, if you have the right people, you don't have to micromanage them. So it really is in the recruitment stage.
Yeah, it just sounds very punitive and negative. I don't think that's inspiring anybody.
No, I think.
Well, I will probably need to leave too. My kids will be walking through the door any second.
Yeah,
right. One of the problems is though is we're going to have to take is, unless we like keep the browsers open, all of our
it disappear. Maybe we have taken like 100 from 160 with each other. Now if we take the rest alone, and then we can share the
Yeah, I think what we could do is, if we take screen grabs, then when we come to do the hangout, say half an hour before, we can just like make all the choices again. It shouldn't take that long. Like if we have,
I think so.
If we have a list of the ones, we can go, okay, take about 20 minutes, but it shouldn't take that long.
Yeah, I think I'm still going to come out EII, though. My answers aren't that different from the first time I took it.
Yeah, it might be that mine are neither that different. I'm not, maybe a few answers, but they are pretty much the same that I had.
Yeah, so I think if we take screen grabs, we can like put the numbers back in again.
Yeah.
Before we start the hangout.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I might take it just before I sleep. I might like quickly take it and see if it's different. But then let's do that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might tomorrow evening. I'm not sure if it depends on if I'm available. But we can. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay, we'll be in touch. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so bye folks, we're now signing off.
Bye.
Don't want to hear all this behind about how we organise things.